What's something subtle people do that lets you know automatically they're an asshole? Switch lanes without looking. Or not using their turn signal. If you use your turn signal, I'll let you in, no matter what. I'm not a mind reader, so any advance warning that you could give me that will clue me into your intention to move into my lane ahead of me is greatly appreciated. I use my turn signal. My dad never used turn signals. One day I asked him why not. He said I'd just go. Asked him, don't you want me to use my turn signals? To which he paused and replied yes. Told him, well, I want you to use yours too. Turn signals keep you and your loved ones safe as well as everyone else's. Criticize you and laugh like it's common practice or just part of the conversation. My friend needs to see this and wake the fuck up. A jab like once in a dozen convos is fine. Jab every time we come face to face? I kind of want to jab your face. You have no idea how much I want to hit him sometimes. I would never actually, but it's gotten to the point where it's beyond annoying. Why are you still friends? Repeatedly telling everyone that you're such a good person. If you have to constantly say that about yourself, then you might not be that much of a good person. Kinda like the I'm a nice guy situation. I had a team leader who would say that about herself. She's the reason everyone quit the team, including myself. What even is a good person? What does it even mean? Is there some threshold where you go from bad person to good person? People who say certain qualities about themselves constantly are generally assholes. Self-praise is no recommendation. Wildly overestimating their knowledge/competence, while also underestimating the competence of actual experts. Everyone that works with backslash are so dumb, they should just do this backslash and this backslash, but they only care about backslash. Why don't they just? This is my least favorite phrase in existence. Odds are, if you aren't an expert and thought of a simple solution within 5 seconds of seeing a problem, the experts have already thought of that too, and there's a reason it's not what they're doing. People love to think they're some sort of genius who can solve a problem with the first idea that pops into their head, as if nobody else is smart enough to also think of an obvious answer. Stand in the way of aisles, doorways, etc., then actually act offended that you dare say excuse me when you need to get through. I get people sometimes lose track of where they are and don't mean to accidentally block access ways. But most people actually are embarrassed they did it and legitimately apologize and immediately get out of the way. Jerks, however, feel entitled to block the way and think you're the one imposing on them for asking them to move. Never understood stopping in a doorway. It's literally the only small space to use to get to another room. Yep, stop right there. From many frustrated visits to the grocery store in my life, I realized that at least half the population seems to have zero situational and spatial awareness. What's really scary is that most of them probably drove to the store. They remember you are their friend only when they need you or need something from you. I am a god. Why? Because people only need me when they ask me something. Ask me something when they need me. Need me something when me ask they. Not apologizing when they found out they were clearly wrong. Destroying your property because they are entitled. I wouldn't really call destroying your property subtle. House burns in the background. House burns subtly in the background. When I meet someone who spends more than half their time complaining about other people they know. I agree, same thing when they talk about your own friends. I had this girl that would complain about my own friends in my face, just always talking shit about people in my life and telling me rumors she heard about them. Literally. My older coworker complains about everything, her husband, her daughters, people of which whom she loves, our working system epic, coworkers, her pets, the weather. The amount of times she says it's ridiculous is insane. I'm a nice person, so I don't just ignore her or make her feel bad. I listen, but it really takes a toll on my positivity. Lol epic, you must work in healthcare. Litter. I was dating this guy and we were in the car, he finished his drink and threw it out the window. I said what the fuck and he said what I cleaned up a beach once. Never saw him again. Never saw him again. Good job hiding the body. She doesn't litter. Probably wood chipped, then composted him. Then he'd serve a purpose on, and for, Earth. The impatient finger snapping that some people do to get someone's attention, such as in a classroom or when asking for the check at a restaurant, etc. It's just degrading to snap at someone like that and instantly puts a bad taste in my mouth. Scanning comments to see if I'm an asshole. Found out today I'm one. I hold long eye contacts, I sometimes listen to country, I ask a lot of questions when meeting someone new. Skeptical. That's not being an asshole, on my book, unless you don't stop when the person is clearly uncomfortable. Prolonged eye contact. With your moist eyeballs. Unbelievable. Ignore boundaries. I need to be home by 11 p.m. Doesn't even start the film until 10, so you have to stay late. I just leave in the middle of the movie. Should have started earlier, man. I have a friend like this. I'll say I have to leave by a certain time, say I have to be at work by 8, I'll say I need to leave by 5. 5 will roll around and dude will continue the conversation, like dude I need to leave, yeah sure thing, one last thing. Now 5:10, dude I gotta go, sure, by the way have you heard? 5:20 didn't you say you had to leave by 5, it's like 5:20, you should be leaving, while I'm thinking of it. 5:30 and dude is still trying to talk. It has gotten to the point I have become a rude asshole when dealing with this friend, I say I need to leave by 5, I'm leaving by 5, even if he is still talking. So by the way, gotta go, did you hear? Later dude as I'm closing the door behind me. Not removing their dog's excrements from the sidewalk. Excuse me, you forgot this, throw. Or when your neighbor lets his dog shit in your yard without picking it up. And then ignoring you and walking away when confronting him. And then getting annoyed that you forced him to actually acknowledge you. I don't really care that you let your dog shit in my yard. My kid plays there and will run into it eventually. Pick it the fuck up. I had a neighbor like this. I would shovel it up and leave eye on his driveway. He eventually got the point. I was just being brutally honest. People who are brutally honest enjoy the brutality more than the honesty. Especially because they'll never use their honesty to make positive observations. Sometimes I just want to be brutally complimented, you know. No offense but. Proceeds to say most offensive thing of all time. I am not being rude but. Proceeds to say the rudest thing possible. Giving a non-apology apology. Like saying I am sorry you feel that way. I do this. I am an asshole. Hey asshole. I am sorry you feel that way. I call this the politician's apology. Depends. If you're not doing anything that you should need to apologize for, then that's a valid response. Example, I'm sorry that spending my own money on myself makes you feel bad. Always bragging about how well off they are and telling you what you are doing wrong with your life without being asked. Putting a service animal vest on their dog when they don't actually have a need for a service animal and just want to bring their dog into places dogs normally aren't allowed. I'm in favor of a $50,000 fine for fake service animals. Genuinely, I'm allergic to dogs. It's understandable if a blind person, for example, needs one. But I'd like to limit my exposure. Is this even a thing? Unfortunately. Call people by the wrong name when the person has told them the correct name multiple times. Hey Patrick, can you get me the report I asked for yesterday? It's Richard. Okay Pat, but make sure to email it to me ASAP. Tells me the person isn't considerate enough to listen and respect people's names. Plus it happens in movies a lot with characters who are big boss assholes. Edit, I'm getting a couple of people in the replies thinking that I'm saying people who forget names are rude. That's not what I'm saying at all. Forgetting names is extremely common and even I do it sometimes. What's rude is purposefully calling someone the wrong name after just being told by the person what their correct name is. Unless you have a short-term memory disorder, you should be able to remember someone's name after they just told it to you 3 seconds ago. It's Richard. Telling everybody how great they are, especially in family context, for example. A mother telling her husband and her children, I'm the only non-egoistic person in this household and without me you all would die. I'm the only non-egoistic person in this household and without me you all would die. No one's as humble as I am. The only thing I'm not good at, is modesty. Exclamation mark cause I'm fucking great at it. Less than. Egotist is everyone who's not thinking of me.